Welcome everyone to the Fighting with Figs podcast. I'm here with EBF. He is in the WFE roster. He's in TikTok Club. He has over 6,700 followers on various amount of platforms. Arguably one of the best promo people in WFE. He's a pretty big name, if you ask me.
I
Uh,
appreciate that description.
yeah. Um. I mean, you're a big name in the wrestling TikTok community, wrestling figure
Mm-hmm.
TikTok community. Okay, let's just get right into the interview, I guess.
All right.
Okay, starting off with wrestling. When did you start watching wrestling? How old?
Um, really, I've been watching wrestling my entire life because ever since I was I'd say around 2 years old, me and my mom would just take me over to my grandpa's house, and we would just watch Monday Night Raw. So I've pretty much been watching wrestling my entire life. But if I had to pick an age, I'd say around 2 years old. Really,
Wow, young. You've been watching it for
yeah,
a long time.
I have.
Um, so was it your grandpa? You would say that got you into wrestling?
I would, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'd say because without him, never I've never discovered Raw. Would have never discovered anything that had to do with wrestling. I wouldn't be where I am, really.
Yeah. How old were you when you first started collecting the figures?
Um, well, my brother actually got me into collecting figures. When he got me into it, and I actually wanted to start collecting, I'd say I was around 6 years old. I'd say, and I would always get like the Jack specific figures.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah,
remember your first couple?
yeah, I do. I think my first ever figure was a Jack specific Chris Benoit action figure.
Wow.
Yeah, and
What about
then we
uh,
had a Sabu action figure.
do you still have those figures or do you have you gotten rid of them?
I think over the years I've just maybe threw them away because they got broken. Really,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I can relate. Some of my older figures have been broken sadly.
Yeah,
Have you ever attended a show?
I have. I've attended in like 2000. It was for my seventh birthday. It was like 2014, and I went to Monday Night Raw, and this was back when like the Shield and everything was still a thing.
Yeah.
So and then I'd say a couple of years later, in like 2017, I went to an episode of SmackDown Live, and then recently I went to a WWE live event in Oklahoma City where I actually met Bailey.
That's cool.
It
We'll get
is
into Bailey later, but
okay.
yeah. That's cool how you say you got into 2014 because
Mm-hmm.
that's when the first time I went to a show and I saw the Shield live too, which
Oh,
I thought
really?
was cool. Yeah, it was when the Shield and CM Punk were beefing. That's when I saw that. It was a SmackDown show though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you like have you ever watched some of the older stuff? Like I know you said you started watching a long
Mm-hmm.
time ago, but like do you know about like ruthless aggression, attitude, stuff like
Yeah.
that, the older
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah, I do. I used to, even recently, I used to always just go on YouTube, go on WWE Network, and just watch older pay per views because I remember them being so entertaining.
Mhm.
And I actually have a DVD box set of Staircade, and it showed like 1980s matches and early 90s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. The
Hmm.
WCW.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. So what would you say is your favorite era of wrestling?
My favorite era would be like of wrestling in general. I'd say like 2007 through 2010.
Yeah, that was a pretty good couple years.
Yeah, because they had my favorites like Randy Orton, Edge, Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, they had a lot of people and a lot of people that were like in their primes or close to their primes.
Yeah, and ECW was I remember loving ECW.
Yeah, the WWE version. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of big people came from that, but also a lot of like jobbers or people that no one knows.
yeah.
Do you think a company like ECW, something like that, can make a big return? Like I know, is it called CZW? Something like that.
I don't know.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know that the one that Matt Cardona was just holding the title. That extreme. Do you think?
Oh yeah, that was GCW, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you
Yeah.
think a company like that can make a big return into the mainstream world, like
Yeah.
WWE or AEW?
Yeah. Absolutely. I think if wrestling and WWE in general starts, downfalling as it is, I think things like that will, small hardcore indie companies like that would come back up. Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think WWE is in like a dark era where, like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I feel like in the next couple years, if they don't plummet or they don't sell the company, I think they can excel again. But
Yeah.
I think AEW needs to get a little bit bigger before WWE starts considering them like a big competition and they start stepping their game up like WCW.
Yeah. I think WWE has a real chance to be great if they, step up their match types and start using talent better.
Yeah, like if they book Raw the same way they look at SmackDown, I think it can be a lot better.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
My favorite wrestler um, of all time, I'd probably have to go with Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Did you ever see him live when you went to the AEW show?
Yes, I did. Well, when you said wrestling, I assumed you meant WWE, but yeah, I
No,
have
of all
been.
time, like just it could be
Yeah,
WCW, it can be any wrestler.
yeah. I think right before the pandemic happened, I went to an AEW show, and I think it was when MJF came out, interrupted Chris Jericho, and they had that entire talk, and Chris Jericho made that Juventud Guerrera line.
Yeah.
I think it was that one. And after the show, I met a couple superstars. I think it was Jake Hager and someone else. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Uh I know you said you met Bailey too. Is there any other wrestlers you ever met?
Yeah. One time in again, I think back in 2020, I went to I went to a meet and greet for WWE superstars after a live event. So I didn't go to the live event. I went to the meet and greet afterwards, and I met a couple people. I think um I met Matt Riddle and Bobby Fish,
Hmm.
and then I almost met Aleister Black, but the line was just way too long. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that would have been
And
cool.
yeah, and then I think I got an autographed belt from Sheamus.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think I still have it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was was Riddle as chill as he is on TV? Like was he laid back?
Yeah, he stayed in his character on TV, and it seemed like in real life it wasn't a character. It seemed like that was actually him, and it was amazing.
Yeah, like from the stuff I see on social media, it looks like that's like actually a portrayal of him. It's
Yeah.
not a character.
Hmm.
Okay, back to Bailey. So I know um you like Bailey a lot. Where did that stem off of? Like, do you remember seeing her for the first time?
Yeah. Okay. Really, when it first stemmed off, I was at an. Oh, I didn't mention. I went to an NXT show in 2015. So right when she started coming up, I remember
Mhm.
she was walking down the aisle, and I had pretty decent seats, and I pushed my way through to the front of it, and she hugged me because
Wow.
that was her thing.
The hugger.
And I remember just turning around to my dad, just smiling so big. and then I watched and then I watched her match, and I remember thinking, I said, "Dang, she's kind of pretty." And so that's when it kind of stemmed off.
Yeah, that's cool. Like I didn't know she hugged you.
Yeah.
So, would you have a favorite match of Bailey?
Yes, I would. I would. I'd say my favorite match would be the Fatal Four Way at WrestleMania 33.
Yeah,
I loved that match.
that match was underrated.
Yeah.
Talking about WrestleMania, do you have a favorite WrestleMania?
My favorite WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be kind of a basic answer, but my favorite WrestleMania would have to be WrestleMania 25, the 25th anniversary,
Mhm. The
because
first Taker Michaels.
yeah, and the Hardy Boys
I mean,
match.
yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. Um, I was looking at your TikToks and your promos and stuff,
Mhm.
and it looks like you created a character called Adrian Black. Like,
Mhm.
explain how you came up with him. Like, does he have a backstory or whatever?
Kind of, yeah. Adrian Black was originally just someone made for WWE 2K19, and I made him, and he had like all these tattoos, kind of like an Aleister Black character,
Mm-hmm.
and then I decided once I started first started EBF, I was playing a I was playing WWE 2K20, and I made him again, the exact same model, and then I looked at him, and I said, Adrian Black is kind of a cool name because I was thinking of Adrian Neville and Aleister Black when I thought of the name.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked over and I saw a Macho Man custom. Well, not a Macho Man figure. And then I looked right next to him and there was a Cody Rhodes action figure. So I said, I could make a custom out of that. And originally, it was going to be a Matt Hardy body. And I was going to put like the tattoos all over it and it was going to be. But then I tried it and it turned out terrible and it
Uh,
wasn't good. And so
yeah.
I threw away the Matt Hardy body, and then I grabbed the Macho Man body and made Adrian Black, and then he debuted in EBF, and now he's the Universal Champion in my company.
Yeah, now he's making appearances in other companies too.
Yeah,
Do you have any other customs that are
I
like Adrian Black?
I do. I have one. It was the Seth Rollins Fire Tights Elite with a TJ Perkins head, a
Oh, I
TJP
saw
head,
that. Yeah.
and I call that one Houston Grant. And then I have one I made recently. It's a Zack Ryder head on a Daniel Bryan body with Jeff Hardy arms, and that one's I'm still thinking of a name for it. I think it's gonna be like Tyson Storm or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like it could fit a character that looks like that.
Yeah,
Visualizing what he would look like.
yeah.
Um, Before I get into some of the questions that other people asked,
Mhm.
I just wanted to ask you a few other basic wrestling questions, like what's your Mount Rushmore of wrestling all time?
You're asking for my Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, yours.
Uh, well, I'm obviously gonna put Chris Jericho up there because yeah, and honestly, I'd have to put Ric Flair up there. I'd put Bruno San Martino
Yeah, that's a
because
good pick.
yeah, because he invented powerhouse wrestling, but didn't invent, but made popular.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one, it'd have to be probably Stone Cold Steve Austin because he was such an iconic face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a respectable list. I like that.
hmm
Only one thing, no Cena.
See, I was gonna put Cena, but I feel like I love Cena, I really do. But like, I feel like he's just
Yeah,
he's an iconic face, no doubt, and he's done so much for WWE. But I feel like he hasn't really invented anything because like he's an iconic face and he has great in-ring skills, but he hasn't really left anything that carried on through wrestling.
Yeah, like the other four like contributed to the industry, like made it where it
Yeah,
is now, made it bigger. Yeah, I kind of agree with you with that now.
yeah.
Um okay, now I got some questions that people from TikTok asked you.
Let's hear 'em.
So, FWE asked, "What's your favorite move and what's your favorite move to make like pick fed?"
My favorite move to make pick fed wise would probably be Canadian Destroyer because I love that move and I know exactly how to make it and it looks actually good every time.
Yeah, that move's crazy.
Yeah, and my favorite move in general, I'd have to go with the I don't know. I'd have to go with the Phoenix Splash.
Yeah, that's a cool move. Like
Yeah.
the one Seth Rollins used to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now, AFWE asked you, "What's your main inspiration?"
My main inspiration, I've been waiting a long time to answer this. My main inspiration is probably Dank Ops on wrestling in general. And for Fig Fed wise, it's probably, I'm going to be honest here. I got on TikTok and these Fig Fedders, wrestling TikTokers, that became such big names were so small, like DEW, uh, AF, I think even Battle Boy was one of them. And I said, hey, I want to do that. And I remember Battle Boy having like 15 followers when I discovered him. So I said, hey, I'm going to do that. So I started an EBF account, and my first video was insanely bad. It was a things WWE fans need to accept. And looking back on it, I said, dang, why did I say that? Like
what was
if you
what's some
scroll
of the
down,
stuff you regret saying?
I said, okay, the first one I said was not the first one, but one of the main ones I regret saying was they need to stop pushing Roman. And I don't agree with anything I said afterwards.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's cool how like you saw them and wanted, and now like you're at the same level as them now.
Mhm.
Like you guys are looked at like in the same light, which I think that's cool.
Mhm.
Okay, now X Destroyer asked, "How did you come up with elite based figure EBF?"
One second. Well, in 2019, me and my friend, me and him were like inseparable. We were best friends. Uh, we were both massive WWE fans, and we said, hey, let's start a. We both said, hey, let's start a YouTube channel.
So was your YouTube channel like figures?
Yeah, it was like figure reviews, custom belts, and everything like that. Then and the name was wrestling based figures. And if you look back on my older video, well, you can't see it now. My name was actually wrestling based figures. And then I said, you know what? I don't like that. It sounds too no. So I changed it to elite based figures, and that's what EBF stands for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that's the origin story behind EBF.
Yeah. Okay. Second to last question. Sam Raid Figs asked, "What's your biggest pet peeve in pig fetting?"
My biggest pet peeve. Um, so sometimes when I'm doing a top rope move, I'll be like holding it by the leg and it be staying still, and all of a sudden it just flops down. So I have to like, but yeah, top rope. I'd say top rope moves because sometimes I'll have to use a string. Sometimes I'll have to hold it out of frame. Sometimes I'll have to get my hand a little bit in the frame. So I'd say doing top rope moves. I don't like it. I don't like doing top rope moves.
Yeah, I'm just starting to get into like the world of pig fetting,
Yeah,
and I can feel your pain. Like I'm like
yeah,
a rookie, and top rope moves suck.
yeah.
Okay, and two people actually asked the same question. Super Crazy Wrestling and EWF owner asked, "What's your favorite figure and your least favorite figure in your collection?"
My favorite figure would probably be one of my newer ones. It'd probably be either the Luchasaurus or the Elite 88 Roman Reigns. And my least favorite would be the Elite Rhino because that
Yeah,
is too bulky and I never use it. I can't I can't find myself using it ever.
yeah. I went to the store and I picked it up, and I regretted it like the week later, and I haven't used it since.
Yeah, I think I only picked it up for the tag team title, really.
Yeah. Um, talking about uh the newer Elite, do you have a favorite Elite series?
Yeah. I think my favorite would be like Elite 71, I think it is. Hold on. I think it's Elite 71.
Um, do you remember someone that's in it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was Jeff Hardy, John Cena, Nikki Bella.
oh yeah,
It's Elite 71.
yeah.
I think that's my
Adam
favorite.
Cole, Nikki Bella, Drew McIntyre,
Yeah,
Jeff Hardy, John
and Big
Cena, and Big
Show.
Show.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
favorite because I love the figures in it. It'd either be 71 or 63.
six. Um,
It was the
is
one with
that the one with
Shelton
the
Benjamin,
Rollins? No,
Nakamura.
the. Oh yeah, Shelton Benjamin,
Yeah,
Dusty Rhodes, Nakamura, Ambrose, Zayn, and Kane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those
Um.
would be two of my favorites. Because I think I actually that's because the wait no that's the wrong one. But yeah, those two would be my favorite.
Yeah, I love that Shelton Benjamin figure. I
Yeah,
love
I
that
wish
figure.
I almost bought it, but it was like $100 on Amazon.
Oh yeah, I got it. When it came out.
Yeah,
Look, I hate how the secondary market price, like, they always go up. I hate it.
yeah, like they're never the same price.
Mhm.
Like if you look at Darby Allin on Ringside and Darby Allin on Amazon, they were like that's like a $20 difference.
Yeah. Um. Before we leave, I just wanted to ask, just because we finished watching it, and I know this is gonna come out tomorrow, but like still, what's your thoughts on the Carter J versus Dakota that just happened?
It was a great match because it's Willie Finesse, so it's gonna be a great match. But honestly, it was an amazing match. But my thoughts on it, I feel like Carter J should have won, and the Hounds. I feel like he's saying a lyric is saying we don't. Dakota doesn't need the Hounds to win, and I'm just over here like, yeah, he does.
Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, it was a great match though.
it was a great match. I agree, but like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like,
Yeah,
I can't really take the Hound seriously because I mean, I never see their promos, and they're not that like menacing to me. Like,
yeah,
but all that can change if the right promos. Like, I really didn't know who you were until your promos, and now you're like one of my favorite wrestling content creators,
I
like the
appreciate that.
TikToks.
Yeah,
Yeah, so like, but yeah, I appreciate your time, and thank
no
you for
problem.
hopping on. And
Thank you
before
for
you
having me.
leave, is there anywhere people can find you? Like, you trying to plug YouTube or
Uh,
talk?
Absolutely. My YouTube is Elite Base Figs, and my TikTok is Elite underscore base underscore figs, or
Your backup?
EBF or EBF wrestling, and my backup is all lowercase EBF dot backup.
Yeah. Yeah. Once again, thank you for your time,
No problem.
and thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow Brady Tracy on TikTok. Also, Bruiser Brady on TikTok. And while you're at it, go follow and subscribe to Willie Finesse and Wrestling Entertainment Network. Once again, thanks for watching, and let me know who you would like to see and if you would like to see more of these. Peace.